दोनों मैच में ये चैनल वाला आ रहा है, कैनाडा का
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are the representatives of West Bengal Junior Doctors Front. You were aware about the horrible incident that happened on 9th of August 2024 at 𝒄𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆 Medical College and Hospital, Kolkata. We are also aware of the nationwide protest that has been going on around since 9th of August. As you all know, we were here previously on 16th of September 2024. We are here again today. What happened in this period is that none of the things, none of the demands that we had were served. On the other hand, as you can see in the panel of ours, many of our friends, many of our warriors are currently on hunger strike. Many of them are currently admitted in critical care units fighting for their life. We are here again with all the members of national RTAs to show that the medical fraternity is united. I now request Dr. Amrita, President of BIMS, to put some light into the current incident.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. We, the representatives of West Bengal Junior Doctors Front, have travelled from Kolkata to Delhi today to spread our voice and our very justified demands to every corner of India. At the outset, we would like to thank all the members of the resident doctor associations of national institutes who have supported us so far and who share the stage with us today in show of solidarity of our quest for justice for our colleague 𝒄𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆, a victim of a horrific crime which perpetrated in 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆 Hospital on 9th of August 2024. Not only was the rape and murder a gross breach of personal security and bodily autonomy, it left a gaping hole in the home which we have built within the pristine walls of government medical institutions, nourishing it with our own sweat and blood. Unfortunately, the response to this incident was met with outright indifference and apathy by the authorities, who resorted from trying to label this as suicide to standing in the way of due investigative process, along with intimidation of people who put their foot down and chose to speak up against this heinous crime. The nonchalance and the inaction from the government and gross negligence on part of the state police made it clear to us that not only the due custody of all criminals involved was of prime importance, it was also necessary to increase vigilance inside hospital campuses and to amputate all elements of corruption within the health system to prevent such brutality against healthcare workers in the future. Our initial resistance in form of cease work gained unanimous support from all national and international medical organizations in the common demand of justice and prevention of another such crime at our workplace. In an attempt to pacify the masses at large and to dilute the spirit of the movement, the state government arranged for several meetings with our representatives of 𝒂𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆 with verbal promises to meet most of our demands. We returned to work on 21st September 2024, keeping our faith in the administration to fulfill our demands. However, no order or directives were released to gain the confidence of junior doctors, as was directed by the Honorable Supreme Court, and also our emails addressing the state authority requesting the same was also left unanswered. Moreover, false statements claiming revamping of hospital infrastructure and security measures were also made by the Principal Health Secretary, West Bengal, in front of the Honorable Supreme Court. The little that the government of West Bengal did showcase as reformative steps barely scratched the surface of the issues at large and instilled zero confidence in the primary stakeholders. Wounded and dismayed at the tragic state of affairs while being duty bound to our patients, we also faced further incidents of violence and gross lack of security in other medical colleges across the state, where miscreants even threatened to recreate another 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆. Furthermore, even patient relatives were not spared from such violence. There was an incident of skull fracture of a patient relative in a state-run premier medical institute. Even after this, we were met with apathy and inaction from the government, who did not release any of the promised orders, with the principal health secretary stooping to the level of blaming the doctors for non-availability of ICU bed and administrative failures, thereby trying to create a rift between the general mass and the medical professionals. The junior doctors felt that rejoining work without extracting our basic human rights and justified demands would just lead to recurrence of such horrific incidents. Despite this, we kept on working. However, this forced us to escalate our movement to the zenith of all non-violent protest forms, an indefinite hunger strike from the 5th of October 2024. 6 of our colleagues have already fallen gravely ill and had to be shifted to the CCU during this course. Even when we were battling with our lives with the sole intention for justice for 𝒂𝒑 and prevention of another 𝒂𝒑, the state government chose to refrain from interacting with us and to stifle our voices, all of our voices of public dissent, by nefarious autocratic measures, including police atrocities and harassment on the peaceful protesters. Enriched doctors and the general public of the nation and abroad voiced their anguish against the authorities, asking for an ultimatum on behalf of the state government in actualizing our legitimate demands. Junior and senior doctors from both government and private sectors unified and gave a call for a Bengal-wide strike of healthcare services on 22nd October 2024, the sole responsibility of which would lie on the ignorance of the state government. What ensued was a virtual meeting of the Chief Minister of West Bengal on Saturday with 𝒃𝒊𝒈𝒈𝒂𝒓, with the feathery promise of yet another physical meeting today at 5 p.m. at the State Secretariat for open discussion of our demands. For reiteration, we would like to highlight the summary of our demands, which are aimed at two main objectives: justice for 𝒂𝒑 and prevention of any other 𝒂𝒑 in future.
Now coming to our demands, justice for 𝒂𝒑. Immediate.
Sorry for the interruption. Now coming to our demands. We have demanded justice for 𝒂𝒑. Immediate judicial action to ensure that the case does not suffer from undue delays, and ensuring that the perpetrators involved in the crime and its cover-up are apprehended swiftly. Our second demand.
I'd like to add to that, while this matter is sub judice and the CBI is still investigating, I would add that we are watchful of this, and since there has been a history of delayed investigations by the CBI, we are still looking at their investigation very keenly, and in case there is any discrepancy, we feel that there is any discrepancy, then it would lead to an escalation of the movement from our side.
Our second demand, accountability in health administration. We demanded immediate removal of the health secretary for the administrative failures and for falsely implicating junior doctors as custodians of bed allotment in hospitals, ascribing the incidence of violence in 𝒂𝒑 Hospital on 27 September 2024 to medical negligence.
We believe that the principal health secretary, who has been in power while all these corruptions have been taking place in the healthcare system, is responsible either directly or indirectly for whatever has happened, not only to 𝒂𝒑 but for all the failures, administrative failures, be it providing protection and security to not just doctors or patients, but also the corruptions which are already being investigated by the CBI. Hence, we believe that such a person, by remaining in power, a true reform cannot occur in the healthcare system. We still stand by our demand of removal of post of this person from the chair of the principal health secretary.
Our third demand. We demanded for reform in the referral system, a centralized digital referral system for all hospitals and medical colleges. And we also demanded for our fourth demand, that is transparency in bed vacancies. Immediate establishment of a digital bed vacancy monitor in each institution.
Chief Secretary of State stated that they have started a pilot project which will be launched very soon. We are waiting for the same. We also have a few inputs regarding the plan of action that they have already formulated for these referral systems and bed vacancies, and we have already provided that to them over email, and we are going to discuss that in details today in the meeting as well, so that they take our inputs, because we feel that our inputs as doctors would help them in this formulation of this plan and proper working and functionality of this plan.
We also demanded for improved safety measures. We demanded that formation of task forces with elected junior doctor representatives to ensure adequate institutional infrastructure and reforms to heighten the security measures.
In the Supreme Court, it was represented that the stakeholder committee has been formed at all levels, all college levels and institutional levels who are looking into this. I want to highlight that such stakeholder committee formation was not known by all of the protesting junior doctors and even most of the senior doctors. The representatives, the so-called representatives who are part of such committees, are not even themselves aware of such committee existing. They have not taken in any part in decisions making about the infrastructural reforms, which is the key to actual reform in the healthcare system, because we as junior doctors know where the lacunae are, and we are the ones who can highlight and point out what all changes actually need to be done. So we want to highlight that such college level task forces should be immediately formed with elected representatives from not just junior doctors but senior doctors as well, who would highlight these lacunae so that immediate measures can be taken and undertaken, and the security can be established once more in our hospitals.
We have asked for increased police protection, appointment of permanent police personnel in hospitals, replacing the temporary civic volunteers to ensure effective protection of all the healthcare staffs.
Permanent police personnel are not yet being had in the hospitals. We have also asked for female security personnel, the adequate number of which has not been provided yet. They have been, supposedly the state has formed a SOP for the security measures, and they promised us on 19th of September to hand it over to us. However, a month has passed, yet we have not received that SOP. So we wanted that SOP so that we could provide our own inputs regarding where all we want the security measures to be placed and what all we want, how much of, what kind of security measures we want in place. However, that has not been done yet. Moreover, the permanent personnel recruitment is not being done. They have stated that they will train police security personnel, not police personnel. They will train and hire security personnel and train them for a week, which is not adequate enough, I think, to provide security. Also, the people who are already employed as temporary security personnel have not received their payments, and for a while, a lot of them have this notion that why should they work when they are not being even adequately reimbursed for their work, and that is why incidents such as Shagurgatto and Malda Medical College incidents of violence, while this protest has been ongoing, within the last 1 month has taken place.
We have demanded for filling of vacancies of the healthcare staffs. We have demanded immediate recruitment to fill long-line vacant posts of doctors, nurses, healthcare workers within the health system of West Bengal.
We know during the pandemic, COVID pandemic, the crisis that the world faced because of a lacunae or lack of enough doctors, the doctor to patient ratio being less. It has been 4 years since the beginning of the pandemic, yet such recruitments are not yet done. The positions lie unfilled, and there are a lot of lack in that regard. No new doctors have been recruited for a long time now, and we want the government to take adequate measures for this immediately.
Our 8th demand, investigation of trade syndicates. We have demanded for establishment of inquiry committees, both state level and college level, to investigate and penalize those involved in criminal syndicates and those involved in carrying out threat cultures within medical colleges of West Bengal.
A state-level grievance redressal cell has been formed. However, we are yet to see any action taken against all those that we have already, all the perpetrators that we have already put forward the names of. We are hopeful though that they will take the necessary action. College level inquiry committees are yet to be formed. Moreover, why this point is so pertinent is because this threat syndicate, the thing that you have all been hearing about recently, is the cause, is what we believe is the root cause of such a crime occurring in our medical colleges. For the past few years, democratic elections in our medical colleges have been halted. Instead, nominated representatives who are close to the administration have been put in power. And these representatives run a reign of terror. They threaten, they give false promises, and this is probably the reason why something like 𝒄𝒆𝒂𝒄𝒉 happened. These are all speculations. The actual investigation is still under this court, under the investigation of CBI and in the court of law, and we keep our faith in that. However, this is what we have learned over the last few months of our protest, and we wanted to get this across to the people of India, because I think there is a lacune there where you all are not being able to understand where all the root problems lie. The second point.
Our ninth demand, student council elections. We have demanded immediate elections for student councils in all medical colleges with recognition of resident doctor associations, RDA, in all the medical colleges of West Bengal to ensure apolitical, fair representation of all the primary stakeholders in averting medical violence, ramping up security, and averting threat culture in hospital campuses.
As I said in my earlier point, whenever there is a nominated representative from an administration, that person has no responsibility whatsoever towards the people. However, whenever a population elects a person by a democratic, fair way, that person will always have to be answerable to their population and always have to do the work which are necessary, the necessary reforms or the necessary promises that have to be kept. So I think this is one of the we as 𝒂𝒊𝒃𝒂𝒓 think that this is a key reform that can be brought about in the medical colleges, which might seem very obvious in rest of India, because RDAs resident doctors associations are a norm in most of the medical colleges across the country. However, in West Bengal, none of the medical colleges have a functioning and registered RDA so far. Hence, and students' unions which are there, which have been functional since a long while, the elections of them have been stopped, and instead they are being led by nominated representatives. That is why we have come up with this demand.
And the last but not the least demand, the inquiry into corruption. We have demanded an investigation into the corruption within the West Bengal Medical Council and West Bengal Health Recruitment Board.
There are a lot of overlapping questionable faces who are members of both the West Bengal Medical Council and West Bengal Health Recruitment Board, both of the organizations which hold a lot of power over the future of doctors in this state. See, such questionable figures against whom CBI has already launched investigations, CBI has made raids of hospitals of these people. We believe that such figures being a part of these organizations brings to question the very sanctity of these organizations. And we request everyone, not just the state government, but also the National Medical Commission, to probe into this and find out what is actually going on. Although the 10-pointed demands, the ultimate intrinsic thought that connects all of these demands is the quest for justice of 𝒄𝒄𝒂𝒄𝒉, and in ensuring that no one else has to ever suffer a similar fate as her in the future. The CPI has been handed over the reins of the primary investigation, but it remains dormant even after 70 days have passed since that fateful night of rape and murder. The primary charge sheet provided doesn't address all of our concerns and questions regarding the crime, and we believe that the investigation is yet to reveal more information. We hope with bated breath that justice will be meted out soon, with a conclusive verdict being given on behalf of the CBI and the Honorable Supreme Court of India. We are also hopeful about the premise of the meeting today with the Chief Minister in West Bengal in formulating a plan for a better tomorrow in our state. However, we remain wary of our past unfruitful experiences in interacting with the state authorities, which is why we stand here today with all the representatives of national RDAs on this podium to declare an ultimatum to the West Bengal government in actualizing our demands by today. Nationwide, our colleagues have already been forced to go on hunger strikes, cease work and protest rallies all across the country in solidarity with our movement, our rightful demands and the plight of our hunger strikers. If the issues are failed to be addressed in today's meeting with no written orders passed today, we will all be forced to escalate our movement further nationally as unified brothers and sisters in arms. We are truly grateful for the unwavering support all of them have provided us in the last 2 months, and we are together with them encountering all sinister forces who try to foster division between us in West Bengal or outside. We would now like to invite them to speak a few words in solidarity.
Friends, as you all know, for the last 2 months, there have been unwavering support for our 10-point demands. From Delhi to Telangana, from Gujarat to Arunachal, each and every medical colleges of the nation have supported our cause. They have done cease work, they have done hunger strike, they have done all forms of protest. I now request Dr. Anshita, Joint Secretary of Maulana Azad Medical College RTA, to say a few words, please.
As we all have listened to their demand, so we realize that these are just basic fundamental rights healthcare workers should have, and they are not talking about themselves also, they are talking about the whole medical system reform, which is going to benefit the government, the people most importantly. And as they are on hunger strike, we are in support with them totally. We support their demand, and we definitely feel that today the meeting with the Chief Minister of Bengal is scheduled at 5 p.m. and we hope for positive results. Otherwise, Delhi and other national RDAs will have to escalate their form of protest as well.
Now I would like to request Dr. Vipresh from 𝒃𝒃𝒏 Medical College to say the Hindi version, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. 𝒃𝒃𝒏 DM resident from 𝒃𝒃𝒏 at Kolkata and 𝒃𝒃𝒏 representative. I will read out the Hindi version. हम 𝒃𝒃𝒏𝒃𝒏 के प्रतिनिधि आज कोलकाता से दिल्ली आए हैं ताकि हमारी आवाज और हमारी न्यायोचित मांगे भारत के हर कोने कोने तक पहुंच सके। सबसे पहले हम आरडीए के सभी सदस्यों को धन्यवाद करना चाहते हैं जो आज इस मंच पर हमारे साथ खड़े हैं और जिन्होंने अभया के लिए न्याय की इस लड़ाई में हमारे समर्थन किया है। अभया 9 अगस्त 2024 को 𝒃𝒃𝒏 हॉस्पिटल में एक भयानक अपराध की शिकार हुई थी। ये अपराध का केवल व्यक्तिगत सुरक्षा और शारीरिक स्वतंत्रता का घोर उल्लंघन था, बल्कि इसने हमारे उस घर को भी छिन्न भिन्न कर दिया जिसे रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर्स ने सरकारी मेडिकल संस्थानों की पवित्र दीवारों के भीतर अपने खून पसीने से सींच कर बनाया था। दुर्भाग्यवश इस भयावह घटना पर अधिकारियों की प्रतिक्रिया पूरी तरह से उदासीनता और असंवेदनशीलता से भरी थी। उन्होंने पहले इसे आत्महत्या बनाने की कोशिश की और बाद में जांच प्रक्रिया में बाधाएं डालना शुरू कर दिया। यहां तक कि जिन्होंने इस जघन्य अपराध के खिलाफ आवाज उठाई उन्हें डराने धमकाने पे उतर आए। सरकार की इस उदासीनता और राज्य पुलिस की निष्क्रियता और भारी लापरवाही ने हमें ये स्पष्ट कर दिया कि न सिर्फ सभी दोषियों की तुरंत गिरफ्तारी और हिरासत अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है, बल्कि अस्पताल परिसर के भीतर सुरक्षा उपायों को बढ़ाना और स्वास्थ्य व्यवस्था में व्यक्त भ्रष्टाचार के सभी तत्वों को समाप्त करना भी जरूरी है। ऐसा करना भविष्य में हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स के खिलाफ इस तरह की क्रूरता को रोकने के लिए आवश्यक है। हमारे प्रारंभिक प्रतिरोध जो कार्यबंदी के रूप में शुरू हुआ था, जिससे सभी राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हॉस्पिटल से समर्थन मिला, जिनकी सामान्य मांग ये थी कि हमें न्याय मिले और हमारे कार्यस्थल पर इस तरह की घटना फिर से ना हो। राज्य सरकार के जनसाधारणों को शांत करने और आंदोलन की भावना को कमजोर करने के लिए WBJDF के प्रतिनिधियों के साथ कई बैठकें आयोजित की, जिसमें हमारे अधिकांश मांगों को पूरा करने के लिए मौखिक वादे ही किए गए। ये विश्वास रखते हुए कि प्रशासन हमारी मांगे पूरी करेंगे, हमने 21 सितंबर 2024 को काम पर लौटने का निर्णय लिया। लेकिन माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्देशों के बावजूद ऐसे कोई निर्देश जिससे जूनियर डॉक्टर्स का विश्वास बढ़े जारी नहीं किया गया। हमारे राज्य प्रशासन को भेजे गए ईमेल्स जिनमें हमें अपनी मांगे पूरी करने के अनुरोध किया था, उनको भी इग्नोर किया गया। किंतु पश्चिम बंगाल के स्वास्थ्य सचिव ने माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के समक्ष झूठे बयान दिए, जिसमें उन्होंने अस्पताल की बुनियादी ढांचे और सुरक्षा उपायों के सुधार का दावा किया। राज्य सरकार द्वारा जो थोड़े बहुत सुधारात्मक कदम उठाए गए, वे मूल समस्या को छूने तक में नाकाम रहे और इससे प्राथमिक हितधारकों को बिल्कुल भी विश्वास नहीं बढ़ा। इस दुखद स्थिति में जब हम अपने मरीजों की सेवा पर प्रति कर्तव्यपर थे, हमें राज्यों की अन्य मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में हिंसा और सुरक्षा की भारी कमी का सामना करना पड़ा, जहां अपराधी ने यहां तक धमकी दे कि ये अभया की घटना को दोबारा दोहराएंगे। और तो और मरीजों के परिजन भी इस हिंसा के शिकार हुए, जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप राज्य के एक प्रमुख चिकित्सा संस्थान में एक मरीज के रिश्तेदार के सर में फ्रैक्चर तक किया गया। इसके बाद भी हमें राज्य सरकार की ओर से उदासीनता और निष्क्रियता का सामना करना पड़ा, जिन्होंने किसी भी वादे को पूरा नहीं किया, बल्कि स्वास्थ्य सचिव ने ICU बेड की अनअवेलेबिलिटी के लिए डॉक्टर्स को दोषी ठहराने की हद तक जाकर आम जनता और चिकित्सा प्रोफेशनल्स के बीच में दरार पैदा करने की कोशिश की। बिना अपने बुनियादी महाधिकार और उचित मांगे के हासिल किए जूनियर डॉक्टर्स का काम पर लौटना सिर्फ ऐसी भयानक घटना को रिपीटेशन की ओर ले जाएगा। इसने हमें मजबूर किया कि हम अपने आंदोलन को चरम सीमा तक ले जाए और 5 अक्टूबर 2024 से अनिश्चितकालीन भूख हड़ताल शुरू कर दिए हम लोग। इस दौरान हमारे 6 सहयोगी गंभीर रूप से बीमार हो गए और उन्हें CCU में भर्ती करना पड़ा। जब हमें अभया के लिए न्याय और दूसरी अभया को रोकने के उद्देश्य से अपने जीवन के लिए लड़ रहे थे, राज्य सरकार ने हमसे बात करने से परहेज किया और शांति से विरोध करने वालों पर पुलिस की बर्बरता और उत्पीड़न जैसे घृणित निरंकुश उपाय का माध्यम से सभी धार्मिक असंतोष की आवाज को दबाने की कोशिश किया गया। पूरे देश और विदेश के आक्रोशित डॉक्टर्स और आम जनता ने राज्य सरकार की हमारे वैध मांगों को पूरा करने के लिए अंतिम चेतावनी की मांग की। सरकारी और प्राइवेट क्षेत्रों में जूनियर और सीनियर डॉक्टर्स ने एकजुट होकर 22 अक्टूबर 2024 को पूरे बंगाल में स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं की हड़ताल का आह्वान किया, जिसकी पूरी जिम्मेदारी राज्य सरकार की अज्ञानता पर ही होगी। इसके परिणाम स्वरूप शनिवार को पश्चिम बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री ने WBJDF के साथ एक वर्चुअल मीटिंग की, जिसमें आज शाम 5 बजे हमारी मांगों पर खुली चर्चा के लिए एक और बैठक का हल्का आश्वासन दिया गया। पुनः स्मरण के लिए हम अपनी मांगों का सारांश नीचे प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं, जिनका उद्देश्य 2 मुख्य बिंदुओं पर केंद्रित है। एक, अभया के लिए न्याय और दूसरा, भविष्य में किसी दूसरे अभया कांड ना हो और उसको रोकना। दाबी 1, अभय के लिए न्याय। इस मामले में तुरंत न्यायिक कार्यवाही सुनिश्चित की जाए ताकि अनुचित देरी ना हो और अपराध में शामिल दोषियों और इस घटना में प्रत्यक्ष या अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से शामिल लोगों को जल्द से जल्द गिरफ्तार किया जाए। नंबर 2, शास्त्र प्रशासन की जवाबदेही। प्रशासनिक विफलताओं के लिए शास्त्र सचिव को तुरंत पद से हटाया जाए और 27 सितंबर 2024 को 𝒂𝒃 मेडिकल कॉलेज हॉस्पिटल में हुई हिंसा को चिकित्सा लापरवाही बताकर जूनियर डॉक्टर्स को झूठा दोषी ठहराने के लिए उन्हें उत्तरदायी ठहराना जाए। नंबर 3, रेफरल सिस्टम में सुधार। सभी अस्पतालों में और मेडिकल कॉलेजेस के लिए एक सेंट्रलाइज्ड डिजिटल रेफरल सिस्टम स्थापित किया जाए। नंबर 4, बेड वैकेंसीज में पारदर्शिता। प्रत्येक संस्थान में एक डिजिटल बेड वैकेंसी मॉनिटर स्थापित किया जाए। नंबर 5, सुरक्षा उपाय में सुधार। सुरक्षा उपाय को बढ़ाने के लिए संस्थागत बुनियादी ढांचे में सुधार सुनिश्चित करने हेतु निर्वाचित जूनियर डॉक्टर प्रतिनिधियों को के साथ एक टास्क फोर्स का गठन किया जाए। नंबर 6, पुलिस सुरक्षा में वृद्धि। अस्पतालों में अस्थायी नागरिक स्वयंसेवकों के स्थान पर स्थायी पुलिस कर्मियों की नियुक्ति की जाए ताकि सभी हेल्थ वर्कर्स की प्रभावी सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित हो सके। नंबर 7, रिक्त पदों की पूर्ति। पश्चिम बंगाल की स्वास्थ्य प्रणाली में डॉक्टर, नर्स और हेल्थ वर्कर्स के लंबे समय से खाली पदों को तुरंत भरा जाए। नंबर 8, थ्रेड कल्चर सिंडिकेट की जांच। मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में थ्रेड कल्चर में शामिल लोगों की जांच और दंड के लिए जांच समितियों का गठन किया जाए। नंबर 9, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट, छात्र परिषद चुनाव। सभी मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में छात्र परिषद के तत्काल चुनाव करवाए जाए और सभी मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर्स एसोसिएशन RDS को मान्यता दी जाए ताकि मेडिकल हिंसा को रोका जा सके, सुरक्षा बढ़ाया जा सके और अस्पताल के परिसरों में थ्रेड कल्चर को समाप्त करने के लिए सभी मुख्य हितधारकों का निष्पक्ष और गैर राजनीतिक प्रतिनिधित्व सुनिश्चित हो सके। नंबर 10, भ्रष्टाचार की जांच। पश्चिम बंगाल मेडिकल काउंसिल और पश्चिम बंगाल स्वास्थ्य भर्ती बोर्ड दैट इज वेस्ट बंगाल हेल्थ रिक्रूटमेंट बोर्ड में व्याप्त भ्रष्टाचार की जांच की जाए। हालांकि 10 बिंदुओं में हमारी मांगे विभाजित है, लेकिन जो अंतर्निर्मित विचार में इन सभी को जोड़ता है वो है अभया के लिए न्याय की हमारी तलाश और ये सुनिश्चित करना कि भविष्य में किसी और को कभी भी उसके जैसी भयानक स्थिति का सामना ना करना पड़े। CBI जिसे उस दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण रात की घटना, रेप और हत्या प्राथमिक जांच की बागडोर सौंपी गई, घटना के 70 दिन बीत जाने के बाद भी निष्क्रिय है। जो प्रारंभिक चार्जशीट पेश की गई वो आपराधिक घटना से संबंधित हमारी सभी चिंताओं और सवालों का समाधान नहीं करते हैं और हमारा मानना है कि जांच में अभी और जानकारी सामने आना बाकी है। हम आशा करते हैं कि CBI और भारत के माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट की ओर से एक आखिरी निर्णायक फैसला सुनाया जाएगा और जल्द से जल्द हमें न्याय मिलेगा। हम आज पश्चिम बंगाल की चीफ मिनिस्टर के साथ होने वाले बैठक के आधार पर राज्य में एक बेहतर कल की योजना तैयार होने की उम्मीद भी रखते हैं। इससे पहले देश के कोने कोने से जूनियर और सीनियर डॉक्टर्स अलग अलग तरीके से इस घिनौने अपराध के खिलाफ अपना आवाज उठाए हैं, जैसे कि भूख हड़ताल, प्रोटेस्ट रैलीज और सीजवार के माध्यम से। पर हमारी सरकार हमारी मांगों को अनदेखा किए जा रहे हैं। अभी तक हम राज्य प्राधिकरणों से साथ अपने पिछले अप्रभावी अनुभवों से सावधान भी है और इसलिए हम इस मंच पर सभी राष्ट्रीय RDA के प्रतिनिधित्व को साथ में खड़े होकर पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार को एक अंतिम चेतावनी देना चाहते हैं कि आज हमारी मांगों को पूरा करें, अन्यथा हम सब राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर अपने आंदोलन को और तेज के लिए तेजी बढ़ाने में
मजबूर होंगे। हम इन पिछले 2 महीनों में मिले अधिक समर्थन के लिए सभी के प्रति आभारी हैं। हमें विभाजित करने की कोशिश करने वाली सभी दुष्ट ताकतों का मुकाबला करने के लिए हम एक साथ खड़े हैं। हम आपके विचारों की प्रतीक्षा करते हैं और आशा करते हैं कि इन कठिन समयों में हम सब एकजुट खड़े रहेंगे और अभया का विचार हम लोग लेके रहेंगे।
We, the doctors, are very much habituated with prolonged duties, 36 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. For the last 2 months, we, the doctors from Bengal, have become used to sleep on roads. Literally, we are sleeping on the roads of Bengal. Our friends, our warriors, are currently on hunger strike at 𝒄𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍, West Bengal. Dr. Shomit has been there. He is General Secretary for Medical College RTA. I'd like to request him to say a few words.
As already stated by all my friends here, all colleagues here, we from Delhi RTA, we have every support. We will provide every support to the West Bengal Joint Doctors Front for their protest. What are those 10 points are there? We 10 points are not only pertinent for them, it's pertinent for Delhi colleges as well. The proper referral system, the RGS, everything is valid also, here also. So we will protest, and if we are looking forward to the meeting at 5 PM today with Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, and we only hope for the best. If nothing will happen in that meeting, we will escalate our protest to the highest level. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shomit. Now I'd like to request Dr. 𝒃𝒂𝒄𝒉, President, Escalation CRTA, to say a few words.
जैसे कि आप लोग सब देख पा रहे हैं कि हम लोग यहाँ पे ऑल दिल्ली आरटीएस इकट्ठा हुए हैं वेस्ट बंगाल जूनियर डॉक्टर फोरम के जो मांगे हैं और हमारी जो मांगे हैं अभय को न्याय दिलाना, उसके लिए हम लोग सब साथ में खड़े हैं और आगे भी हमारा ये लड़ाई जारी रहेगा जब तक हमें न्याय नहीं मिलता है। और वहाँ की सरकार वहाँ के जो जूनियर डॉक्टर्स की जो मांगे हैं जब तक पूरी नहीं करती है, हम लोग ऑल दिल्ली आरटीएस हम लोग सब साथ में हैं। आज के ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का वही मतलब है कि हम लोग सब एक ही हैं और हमारा आवाज एक है और हम लोग साथ में ही लड़ेंगे इस चीज के लिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dr. 𝒃𝒂𝒄𝒉. Friends, the things are two very basic demands. One is justice for our departed soul, justice for our colleague. Another thing is that no one from the entire medical fraternity, in fact, any lady should face this fate in their working place. This is a very basic question, a very basic demand. It's a question of gender justice. I request Dr. Aparna to say a few words.
मेरा नाम डॉक्टर अपर्णा है एंड आई एम फ्रॉम मौलाना आज़ाद, आई एम दी आरडीए प्रेसिडेंट है। तो जैसा कि आप सब लोग देख सकते हैं कि बंगाल से एक डेलीगेशन ये दूसरी बार आए हैं यहाँ पे, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हम जितना भी कोशिश कर रहे हैं हमारी आवाज़ जहाँ तक जानी चाहिए वहाँ तक नहीं जा रही है। तो और कई बार ऐसा हो चुका है कि हम अपनी तरफ से हर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व है, हर अथॉरिटी जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व है, उनको अपील कर चुके हैं एंड हमने भी हर एक की अपील सुनी है। हमने सुप्रीम कोर्ट की अपील सुनी, हम काम पे वापस गए। तो आई थिंक ये एक ऐसी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है जिससे हम ये मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि मे बी दिस इज वन ऑफ दोज लास्ट ट्राई फ्रॉम आवर साइड कि अब आप लोग प्लीज जो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एक अथॉरिटी की है, जो गवर्नमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, आप प्लीज उसे करिए। ये लोगों की जो भी इनकी इंस्टीट्यूशनल, हॉस्पिटल, स्टेट एंड नेशनल लेवल पे जो भी डिमांड्स हैं उनको नज़रअंदाज ना किया जाए, उनको सुना जाए, क्योंकि सब लोग बहुत परेशान हैं एंड इतने टाइम से हंगर स्ट्राइक चलती आ रही है, तो उसका क्या एक जो उससे एक जो रिजल्ट आना चाहिए, हम बस उसका वेट कर रहे हैं। और अब सबकी पेशेंस धीरे धीरे कम हो रही है। तो मेरी एक दरख्वास्त है सारी की सारी गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी से, अथॉरिटीज से, जिन से हमने अपील की है आज तक, इंक्लूडिंग द लीगल बॉडीज, कि आप प्लीज इस पे एज सून एज पॉसिबल एक अच्छा पॉजिटिव आउटकम लेके आइए, वरना हम भी नहीं चाहते कि एक नेशन वाइड हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम का डिस्ट्रप्शन हो, नेशन वाइड स्टैंड स्टिल हो, क्योंकि उससे ना हमारा फायदा है ना हमारे पेशेंट्स का फायदा है। तो ये हमारी हार्टफेल्ट रिक्वेस्ट है और हम फिर से इस बार एक बार और अपील कर रहे हैं वेस्ट बंगाल की गवर्नमेंट से, द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से, सबसे अपील कर रहे हैं कि प्लीज लुक इनटू द मैटर और अब आप इसको सॉर्ट आउट करें।
Thank you, Dr. Aparna. Friends, as you all know, that we have given ultimatum to the government that all the demands has to be sorted out by today, else we would go to escalation from tomorrow. As our friends from all the national RTAs, as you can see, they are resonating with the 10-point demands. I would like to request all the concerned authorities that please, we are from the 𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 requesting you from this stage that please, these are very basic demands. I would like to request Dr. Vishnu from 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 New Delhi to say a few words.
मेरा नाम डॉक्टर विष्णु गोस्वामी है। मैं RDMs का जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी हूँ। मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि ये जो वेस्ट बंगाल JDF से हमारे दोस्त आए हुए हैं, इनके जो डिमांड है वो बिल्कुल ही वैलिड है। एंड मैं एम्स RDA की तरफ से माननीय चीफ मिनिस्टर को ये रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा, आप जल्द से जल्द उनके जो सारे डिमांड वो लिखित रूप से मान्यता दें। एवं CBI के पास मेरा ये रिक्वेस्ट है कि जल्द से जो केस चल रहा है उसको सुलझाया जाए एवं अभया को जस्टिस दिलाया जाए। एम्स RDA हमेशा कमिटेड रहे हैं, नेशनल लेवल प्रोटेस्ट पे अभी भी है। सारे हमारे जो जनरल बॉडी रेगुलर तरफ से चल रहा है, वी आर एक्सप्लोरिंग द पॉसिबिलिटीज एंड वेज ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ एस्केलेशन फॉर दिस प्रोटेस्ट। मैं फिर से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा, आज शाम की जो मीटिंग है उसमें सारे कुछ हमारे जो साथी है वहाँ पे बैठे हैं अंडरस्टैंड पे, उनके पक्ष में आए एवं अभया को न्याय मिले। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Dr. Vishnu. Now I would like to request Dr. 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒍, President PIMA and VP NAFOD and 𝒂𝒐𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 New Delhi to say a few words.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. 𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒏𝒆𝒍. I am currently the President of PIMA and the Vice President of NAFOD and RDA New Delhi. I have personally been at the site of the indefinite hunger strike in Kolkata, and I have seen in front of my eyes people falling critically ill, and in front of my eyes a couple of days back one person fell unconscious. We are looking at the matter very closely from all across the country. Today here we are united not just with 𝒂𝒑 as Delhi RDA, but we are united as a medical fraternity all across the nation. From the side of the RDAs across the country, we want to appeal to the Chief Minister of West Bengal to fulfill the very just demands of the West Bengal Junior Doctors Front of the healthcare system all across the country. This is our final appeal to the state government to kindly fulfill the demands of the West Bengal Junior Doctors so that the country does not have to come together once again and the healthcare system across the country is not disrupted. Thank you.
फील कि ये जो 10 पॉइंट डिमांड है, ये जल्द से जल्द आज जो मीटिंग है हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि जो माननीय CM वेस्ट बंगाल की ये बैठेंगे हमारे रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ऑफ जो WBJDF के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स के साथ, और हम आशा करते हैं कि जो डिमांड्स है 10 पॉइंट डिमांड्स उनके पूरा करेंगे। नहीं तो जो हम पहले भी दिल्ली में ये मूवमेंट को एस्केलेट किए थे, हम सारे उनके साथ है दिल्ली आरडीए के बिहाफ से। हम फर्दर मजबूर होंगे एस्केलेट करने के लिए, और हम भी दिल्ली में इस मूवमेंट को जारी रखे। आप जानते हैं हमने बंगाल भवन के सामने भी हमने प्रोटेस्ट किए थे, और किसी न किसी फॉर्म में मूवमेंट चल रहा है दिल्ली में भी। और हम
10 दिन में रिपोर्ट दे देंगे, इसके पीछे या तो और पॉलिटिक्स है।
दूसरी उनकी अभी तक की नीड से सेटिस्फाई हो कि ये रैंक रेप नहीं है।
Madam, first of all, the Kolkata police was involved in evidence sampling, and that has been stated in the Honorable Supreme Court by the CPI. So, us demanding the CPI investigation, the highest investigative authority in India, came from that, because we lost the faith in the Kolkata police to do their job. As per what we think, if the investigation is getting derailed, or if something seems fishy, then we will be forced to escalate our movement accordingly.
Would you like to take questions from the media houses now?
अपील तो पूरे नेशन पर कर रहे हैं और लॉ मिनिस्ट्री पर भी कर रहे हैं और ऐसा कानून लाने के लिए। और हम लोग जो सेंट्रल प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट और सेंट्रल हेल्थ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट उसके भी बात किए हैं, मांगे की है। तो हम लोगों को देखना है कि एक हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स के साथ उनके काम की जगह पर ऐसे घटना ना घटे, और देश की किसी भी महिला के साथ ऐसे अपराध ना घटे। इसलिए इस अभया का इंसिडेंस में जो दोषी है उनको एकदम कड़ी से कड़ी सजा दी जाए और ऐसा कानून ला जाए जिससे ऐसे घटना ना हो। इसका भी हम अपील करते हैं।
The Central Health Protection Act, which our Delhi RDA and national RDAs have kept on talking about. If you have noted their protest movement very carefully since the day of this incident, they have kept on talking about the Central Health Protection Act, because this is not just for an incident like this. Incidents of violence keep on happening in this country against doctors, because you know, when patients come to the hospital, they are mostly in a very grave state, and naturally the patient relatives are always emotional. So we cannot blame the patient relatives when they are having an emotional outburst either. So what can be done in this situation is, if you look at our 10-point demands closely, you will see that we have asked for security measures, which are the ways we can protect ourselves or the nurses or the other healthcare professionals. We have asked for a central bed vacancy system and a central referral system. Why have we asked for that? Because most of the time what happens is, especially in government sector, what happens is, say a person sitting in a village is having a head injury, a road traffic incident, and then they get referred to the nearest district hospital. In that district hospital, there is no CT scan available, there is no neurosurgeon available, and sometimes even beds are not available. In that case, that person is suffering, they have already wasted few precious hours. We have this concept of golden period in treatment. So that golden period is getting lost in this process, from this one transfer to another. Then this district hospital again refers this patient to a tertiary care center, be it in a major city or town. And in this process, the main time to save the life of the patient is lost when the patient reaches the tertiary care center. Due to no fault of the patient or patient relatives, and due to no fault of the doctors treating the patient's life often gets lost. This happens. This is a failure of administration. This is a failure which cannot be solved in one day, I accept, but this is a failure we really need to talk about nationwide today, so that we can start taking the necessary steps, so that we can start investing in healthcare nationwide, and so that we can start talking about the Central Health Protection Act, which will prevent, which will hold responsible anyone causing any form of violence to any healthcare professional throughout the country, and will, so that the patient relative, while even being in that emotional state, knows at the back of the mind that no, we cannot get away with just hitting the doctor or breaking the chairs. We cannot get away with that. That is lawlessness. This is a form of lawlessness which is being propagated, and nothing is being done against it. As a result, it keeps happening. So we need to put a stop to this, and we believe from this movement, together with our national brothers and sisters, that is why we are so keen on building this national unity today, because we need to get this done today. Thank you.
अभी तक आपने बहुत सारे, अभी तक आपने हंगर स्ट्राइक्स भी हुई है ना, अभी इतने लंबे टाइम से आप लोग प्रोटेस्ट में
नहीं कर रहे हैं, आज ममता जी के साथ जुड़ी, अगर इन शर्तों को नहीं माना जाता तो आपका आगे का क्या प्लान?
मैडम, हमने ऑलरेडी बोला है कि आज भी अगर हमारे डिमांड्स को नहीं मानी जाए, कि सिर्फ मौखिक जो प्रतिश्रुति है वो देके हमको फिर से ऐसे घुमा दिया जाए, तो हम नहीं मानेंगे। इस बार हमको रिटन डिमांड्स चाहिए। रिटन डिमांड्स अगर ना मिले तो हमारा बहुत क्लियर अल्टीमेटम दिया हुआ है स्टेट को। हम 72 आवर्स का इसीलिए अल्टीमेटम दिए थे कि अगर नहीं माना जाए तो बंगाल वाइड स्ट्राइक ऑफ हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज टुमारो ये हम करने वाले हैं, और नेशन वाइड एस्केलेशन इन व्हाटएवर फॉर्म दैट द RDs will decide will be done tomorrow as a whole. The entire nation is standing and looking up to this meeting today with the Honorable Chief Minister. We are looking at it. We are looking at it very keenly and watching. If nothing is being done, but nothing significant comes out of it, then we are all ready to escalate.
So then, there will be this.
Kindly, I need to address the madam that we don't want patient suffering. We all are here. We are doctors. We want to treat the patients. We don't want patient suffering. But if the necessary directives don't come, we also, as residents, don't feel safe to enter our campuses. That's why we have asked for necessary directives. Otherwise, from tomorrow, we will be forced to take this movement to nationwide escalation. That's it.
Again, you are talking to add to that. See, we are here to treat the patients. The government is there to maintain this healthcare system, and we are fighting here. We are doing this hunger strike to fulfill our certain 10-point demands, which are not very much difficult for this government to fulfill. If they want, if they have that willingness, they can fulfill within 1 hour. So it depends on the government whether they are willing to listen to us to fulfill this demand, so that our West Bengal's health system becomes a better version of our health system. So if government wants, everything is quite simple. If the government doesn't want, means there is lack of intention from their part, which will ultimately might cause further disruption. And we are no one. The government, they are the main key player. If they want, everything is set. If they don't want, everything is going to be in a difficult situation. Yes, there was a question.
One by one, please.
What's the situation right now? After the meeting, it will be solved, I don't know. But if it is not solved, will you again go to the Supreme Court?
See, we are already fighting in the Supreme Court. As we already stated in our this press release, we are doing the hunger strike is continued. It has been for last 15 more days. We had a virtual telephonic conversation with our Chief Minister on Saturday. The Chief Secretary and the Home Secretary of West Bengal came to our protest site, in our hunger strike site, and we had a telephonic conversation with our Chief Minister. And there she asked to meet her today at 5 p.m. We have clearly said if these are our demands, quite simple, 10-point demands, if these are met, or like even if there is some written directive from the government side that this demand will be fulfilled in next 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, whatever it is. If we get such written assurances from the government, we will think that if there is no assurance, we will further escalate, as I have already said, from tomorrow, as we have already discussed. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if I can ask you, and I would like, I prefer if you can answer in Bengali. By escalation means what exactly will be the measures? Like, number one, whether there will be a strike of resident doctors only, or there will be a statewide strike. Also, I would like to know from other RDAs, like from other states and specifically cities or Delhi RDAs are here, what exactly you are looking at for escalation? Like, will there be a ceasefire nationwide? Will you call for another ceasefire? What that would be?
ম্যাডাম, আপনি যেহেতু বাংলায় জিজ্ঞাসা করার উত্তরটা চাইলেন, সেজন্য আমি বাংলায় উত্তর দিচ্ছি। আমরা বারবারই বলেছিলাম যে সরকারের যদি সদিচ্ছা থাকে, তারা আজকেই ডিরেক্টিভ দিয়ে জিনিসটা মিটিয়ে নিতে পারবে, এবং আমরা সেই ডিরেক্টিভসের কথাই বারবার বলেছি। আজকের মিটিং এর দিকেও আমরা তাকিয়ে রয়েছি, কারণ আমরা সবসময় আলোচনার পথ খোলা রেখেছি। এমত অবস্থায় দাঁড়িয়ে সরকারের যদি সদিচ্ছার অভাব হয়, তারা যদি ডিরেক্টিভ নেসেসারি না দেয়, তাহলে আমাদের নেশন ওয়াইড এসকালেশন করতে হবে। আমরা বলেছি আগের দিন যে আমরা 72 ঘন্টার আলটিমেটাম দিয়েছিলাম আমাদের শেষ মিটিং থেকে, যেখানে সমস্ত জুনিয়র সিনিয়র ডক্টরস, প্রাইভেট গভর্নমেন্ট হসপিটাল সকলে মিলে আমরা আলটিমেটামটা দিয়েছিলাম যে 72 ঘন্টার মধ্যে আমাদের নেসেসারি ডিরেক্টিভস না এলে আমরা নেশন ওয়াইড এসকালেশনের কথা বলবো। আমরা সেটাই বলেছি। আমরা আশা করছি সে এসকালেশন করতে হবে না, কিন্তু এসকালেশন কি ফর্মে আমরা বাংলা জুড়ে অবশ্যই তো করেছি যে যদি ডিরেক্টিভ নেসেসারি না আসে আমরা কালকে স্বাস্থ্য ধর্মঘট করব, কিন্তু আমরা সেটা করতে চাই না। আমরা চাই না কোনো রোগীর কোনো রকম ক্ষতি হোক, কিন্তু গভর্নমেন্ট যদি তাদের তরফ থেকে সদিচ্ছা না দেখায় আমরা অপারগ হয়ে সেটা করব, এবং তার জন্য যা কিছু হবে তার জন্য গভর্নমেন্ট রেসপন্সিবল থাকবে। কিন্তু আমরা নেশন ওয়াইড এসকালেশনে যেতে বাধ্য হব যদি ডিরেক্টিভস না আসে। গভর্নমেন্ট যদি এসকালেশন না চায় তারা আজকের মিটিং থেকে নেসেসারি ডিরেক্টিভ দিয়ে দেবে, আমরা সেই সদিচ্ছার উপরে ভরসা রাখবো।
স্বাস্থ্য ধর্মঘট তাকে পার্টিসিপেট কারা করবে? অল কাইন্ড অফ ডক্টরস এন্ড জুনিয়র ডক্টরস, এভরিওয়ান, এন্ড অলসো প্রাইভেট এন্ড গভর্নমেন্ট হসপিটালস অ্যাজ ওয়েল?
Yes, ma'am. When we were doing this hunger strike for about 10 days, 12 days, we all sat together because all the people of West Bengal are now concerned. When such a thing is happening and the government was only showing their interest in the 𝒃𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆𝒍 festival while our colleagues were putting their lives on line, then naturally the people of West Bengal have been in our support and they have shown their full support, and that includes all the healthcare workers and doctors and senior doctors from government sectors as well as private sectors. We were all discussing what all can be done, and we sat together, the junior doctors as well as the senior doctors from both all the organizations in West Bengal, be it from the private medical organizations, be it the different academic associations, be it the different organizations in the government sector. We all sat down together, and this ultimatum that we gave, it was given as an ultimatum from all of us together for the 72 hours. We believed that the government will finally show a goodwill, because we still believe that the government cares for its people. So the government will show a goodwill from their side when the healthcare is going to be at stake. And that is exactly what happened. We saw that once we gave the ultimatum, the very next day the chief secretary showed up at our protest site and he arranged for that telephonic conversation with our honorable chief minister. So my point of our hope is still in this meeting. We are hoping that we will definitely be able to extract demands out of this meeting, because otherwise why would they go through this hassle, and otherwise why would they go through all this hassle to organize it? So we are actually, all of us from 𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒆 as well as the national RDs are looking up to this meeting. Whatever will be done after it, we will be sitting down deciding not only among ourselves but also among the national RDs, and then we will discuss and let you all know. Still, if you want the answer, I'll just hand it over to ma'am. Aparna ma'am will just say what you wanted to know from the nationwide side.
तो एक बात तो बहुत क्लियर कर दी इन्होंने कि वी आर वेटिंग फॉर टुडेज मीटिंग, ओके। सो हम तो ये उम्मीद करके चल रहे हैं कि आज हमारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होगी और हर कोई ये सोचेगा हमारी तरह की पेशेंट सफर ना करे। तो हम इस वक्त तो कोई एस्केलेशन का फॉर्मेट डिसाइड करके नहीं बैठे हैं यहाँ पे, हम इसी होप में बैठे हैं कि आज ये चीज सॉर्ट आउट होगी, जो मीटिंग अभी 1 घंटे में होने वाली है। सेकेंड ऑफ ऑल ये है कि एस्केलेशन तो बहुत तरह के फॉर्म्स में की जा सकती है, ठीक है। तो आज की मीटिंग का हम वेट करेंगे, जब आज की मीटिंग हो जाएगी तो हम लोग एग्जैक्ट मिनट्स ऑफ दैट